That tool actually had a button called Death Watch, which literally would run a pre-formatted Google search based on their
Mm.
news articles to just say, okay, you haven't, let's find out if the company's still alive. Because 90% of them go out of business.
So, Nick, where are you located and what's the name of your company business? Yeah.
Yes, I'm in San Francisco, California, and a company called Honeybee, software platform for matchmakers in the dating industry.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, so it's AI first, it sounds like.
I would say that what I've found in the industry is that more traditional vertical SaaS kind of model had to, at least in a way that solves their problem. So kind of there earlier this year, and then we are slowly adding like the AI capabilities into those workflows that are being built around how matchmakers work.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. Well, before we dive too much into just the work, I'd love to hear kind of like thinking of where you are now versus where, like when this kind of started for you,
Mm,
of the work you're doing now. Like, where were you before and what were you doing before you got to the work you're doing now?
yeah. Well, I've been in the tech industry probably almost 20 years. The last company I was at, I left in March of 24, but I was the product and engineering team there, burn CDs, friends and their friends and stuff, all the way up until the last few years. Before I was working on Honeybee, I started another company called AngelStat, which is a portfolio management tool for angel investors. And so I've always tried to have that mentality. If it doesn't exist, build it, see who wants it.
Mm.
Maybe somebody has my problem. And last year took on a side project during my time off to build a small CRM for somebody working in the matchmaking industry. As they started to use the platform, I got interest from others that wanted a similar system. And in January of this year, I ended up working on Honeybee as more of a business than just a custom.
Mm. So I really like that. So it sounds like so the space that I'm in right now, I'm transitioning out of the custom solutions building because I'm finding that technology can be really hard to keep up with. And I love technology. I've always been someone like, I remember man, how old am I? 15 years ago, like my daily feed was lifehacker.com.
Yeah,
Ooh,
me
what's
too.
the trick here? How can I fix this? Like all these like life hacks in a sense. And then that kind of morphed into, okay, for work specifically, okay, for this tool specifically. And that's always been my bent of like, what's the like best way, the easiest, most efficient, effective. And so it sounds like very similar in that regard, but you've also kind of done more with that.
Right.
So the people that I tend to work with are either the business owners or multi-hat leaders that they have been growing their business and their teams, but it's been duct tape.
Mhm.
And now they're at this place of like, man, like there's just some friction. Like I want to be able to go home and sleep well or spend time with my family
Mhm.
at night. And that the weight of work just sits there and it's really hard.
Yep.
Okay, how can we make freedom? And then the other side of that is I love to connect with people doing the work, helping make freedom for other people. And so I'm kind of sitting in that space. I'm still trying to figure out specifically what I do in that space, but a lot of it's connecting ideas to people, solving problems. And but you seem to that there's just the two things that you said you started. What for the angel investors business, what was it you said? It sounded like you said something that you needed, so you built it.
Mhm.
What was that kind of aha moment of like, hey, I need this thing. Oh, wait, I guess I'll just go ahead and do it myself.
I started investing in startups about 6 years ago. I was working at Uber and had a great experience there, and then was fortunate enough to invest a few times. And I just found that there was this sort of opacity to the market, but generally just getting the right information about the companies that sourcing or that come to. And so I wanted to have a system where you could help facilitate, hey, we know the company's website. Let's go find as much information on possible and be able to track the investments that you make. Be, hey, I sent the check and you don't hear, or there are confidential reasons that they don't send a lot of updates. And so how
Mhm.
do we understand the progress of that company as it relates
Mhm.
to other companies in the market? Is their brand recognition getting better? Are they showing up more often? Have they raised more rounds? Have there been headlines?
Mhm.
And that tool actually had a button called Death Watch, which literally would run a pre-formatted Google search based on their
Mhm.
news articles to just say, okay, You haven't, let's find out if the company's still alive. Because 90%. So I wanted the financial mathematics part of tracking the things that I did. We have that in all other aspects of life. And then also the ability to say, hey, is this company in front of me? Is what they're doing reasonably interesting and big? Can I discern the limited signals I have? Because it's typically early stage investing for me. Can I build something that helps with that? And it was a little bit pre-AI. So some of the experiments I did with it last year was, don't just give me some web scraping and other details you find about the company, like actually go out and do a market analysis on what they're building and that kind of stuff. And a lot of that analyst workflow can be, automated now. Cool addition. But unfortunately, I solved my problems, not really any. It was a great learning experience, a privacy policy in terms of service and all those things, and building as well, the things you run into.
Okay. I love that you say that. And thanks for your transparency in that.